Welcome to ACD Combatives, your combatives and control tactics channel. Please like, subscribe, and share. Alright guys, Coach Kurt here with the Kris Voyager knife. It's Kris Voyager. I'll cut in some pictures so you don't have to deal with my wobbly hands. It's a tri-ad lock system. It's the cold steel knife. Guys, this is, let me see if I can put this up on the screen. I'll put it in. Its blade length is 5.5 inches. It's 7.4 ounces. It's a 4mm blade. The handle is 6 3/4 in length. And that's what's important about this knife. I like to carry it in my cargo pocket. Of course, I'm not wearing cargo pockets. It's completely outside out of mind. It's 100% concealed and secure inside the cargo pocket, and there's a pocket inside the pocket. If you're familiar with a lot of tactical pants, or Class B uniform pants is what I wear, there's the internal pockets designed for like an AR-15 magazine. And this bad boy securely, without wobbling around or anything, fits in there. Now, of course, it comes with a clip, a knife pocket clip. I tend to take those off because I don't like how they dig into my hand when I'm utilizing the knife. Now this is, you don't need to flip it open like I'm doing it. I'm just showing you that that's how loose this blade is. And by loose, I mean it's extremely, I can't even talk today, extremely secure blade. It's just that it's just smooth as glass. So you can flip it open with a good flick of the wrist. And as you can see, this is the Kris blade. I believe it's an Indian design from Asia. If you've seen the Kris swords that they use in India, very scary, deadly blade. You can see how that would cut, and just do some amazing, this is the dull side, how that would just, gosh, I just can't even imagine how much. It's not tearing because it's such a sharp knife, but it's just doing that wave cut. I think you understand what I'm getting at. And again, this is the Voyager-XL, and I love this knife. I just love this knife. I carry it on duty. I don't carry it off duty. I carry the little K-bar knife that I clip in my outer belt off duty, and I also carry a karambit off duty because we're looking for concealability off duty, but still good little fighting knives. But if you're using something like this in a law enforcement setting, you're talking, the shit has hit the fan. It's no longer law enforcement, it's self-defense. You are fighting for your life. In that regard, this is extremely a legitimate use of a knife in law enforcement. It's reasonably objective. Was it reasonably objective that you had to use a knife to defend your life when your gun was lost, or your gun ran out of ammunition, or you can't get to your gun? Absolutely. We know from case law that it doesn't matter how you get to the deadly force. It matters, was it acceptable use of deadly force? Was it reasonably objective to use that deadly force at that particular time during that encounter? If the answer is yes, then it doesn't matter how you got there. You drop a piano on their head. You drop an anvil on their head, like in the cartoons. You run them over with a patrol car. It doesn't matter. Dead is dead, right? So to answer the naysayers, yes, unless your agency has some particular reason that will not allow you to carry a knife. And my agency is strictly case law driven as far as our use of force. Graham v. Connor is the umbrella that covers it all. Then yes, it's completely acceptable, but you follow your agency's policy. But guys, I can't rave about this knife enough. You know, I carry other knives on duty. I have a karambit on duty. I have a little gosh, my mind just went blank, a Spyderco that I keep in my pocket, and if I'm just cutting rope or twine or seat belt or something, because it's one with a hook blade, that's what I'm using. I'm not pulling this bad boy out. The karambit is another shit has hit the fan kind of knife, although it's also good for like seat belts and stuff like that. But if this bad boy comes out, it's because shit has hit the fan. And if you're gonna have to be in a knife fight, you want to be in a knife fight with a knife that is going to be a serious tool.
Nick, give him your wallet.
What for?
He's got a knife.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
You don't want some little cheap, tiny little blade. You want this bad boy, and this would be a case where size does matter. No joke intended. This is an amazing knife. I couldn't say anything bad about it. Again, I tend to take off the clips because that's just who I am. It's how I carry my knife. When I do carry this off duty, and I have, not so much anymore, I carry it inside my belt line. I have a pouch that clips inside the belt line pouch, and then I can just lift up my shirt and I can get this knife out. So it conceals excessively well in that regard. Maybe I'll put it in that pouch and take a picture of that for you so you can see what that would look like. But let's move on with the video. Pretty effective. This is pretty thick. This is where one of my wife's bars came in, her weight bars, 45-pound powerlifting bar for CrossFit and powerlifting and weightlifting. You know, she's the muscle head in this family, definitely not me, not with my dad bod, but it's a pretty impressive thickness. But I just wanted to demonstrate that. Okay, so the knife is going to be a little different than the stick, but the pattern is the same. Just to remind you, and I'll clip in the stick right after this, but angle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or with the knife, 8. Again, this is my system. I'm not a full-time collie or anything like that. I've just dabbled. So take that with a grain of salt. If you're a Filipino martial artist, understand that I'm simplifying the system to fit into the overall picture of ACD combatives. So with the same opposite side, it's the same thing, but to remind you with the stick, it's the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 7 with the stick, 8. The difference with the stick is I don't really like this technique because it's designed more for a very precise strike to the face or to the chest. I'm not so in love with this technique with the stick because of this it's just not stable. But with the knife, you might have been like blocking, cutting, and coming around or something like that. You know, blocking, cutting, like a power assist cut down, whatever, and it might be viable with the knife. But remember, with the knife, everything is vital. The angles are slightly offset to make vital. This is, you know, your carotids, 1, 2. You're trying to get these areas that's going to end the fight quickly. Remember, if the knife comes out in law enforcement, it's all hands on deck, shit has hit the fan, all bets are off. You're in an extreme self-defense situation. There's 2 types of knife use in law enforcement. Utility, cutting seat belts, you know, stuff like that. Very, very different world than when you're using it last ditch, last act of defiance type situation. So major arteries, 1, 2, 3, 4. These would be slices where you're just trying to get him off of you. Maybe you're not trying to kill him with a knife. Getting him off you, rubbing across the rib cage. Now remember, the rib cage isn't straight across, it comes on an angle. This should not penetrate the rib cage, but it's going to probably get him off of you. It's going to hurt like hell. There's a lot of nerves in this vulnerable area. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up under the armpits, 6, up under the armpits, 7, power assist straight in. Remember with the stick, it could be like this, it could be like this, and then 8, I could be hitting with the pommel of the stick, or the knife in this case, or in the case of a knife, I'm coming in to like blind him or stab him in the throat or what have you. You pick the target, or it's a target of opportunity. So remember, the knife is slightly different than the stick, but the pattern is the same. Arteries, 1, 2, 3, 4. Arteries, 5, 6. Now remember, you could be coming low, 5, 6. Up underneath the legs too, because there's major arteries inside the legs, the femoral arteries. So there's a lot of places you can cut this guy or girl, depending on who's attacking you, that will end the fight quick. Now that doesn't mean the minute you cut them that the fight is over. It could go on for another 30 seconds, 60 seconds, depending on how bad you cut them. Chances are they're going to reject you. They're going to get off of you when they've been cut so badly. But they may not feel it. So it is what it is. The knife is in close range. It's very scary. I'm not saying I would take it over a gun in close range, but I don't feel like I don't have a good tool as long as I'm close enough to stab them. I don't want a knife in all situations, but in some situations it's great. And in a law enforcement situation, it's a last ditch. Shit has hit the fan. You have no other choice because you're out of ammunition, or you lost your primary and your secondary, or you can't get to your secondary, or you cannot get to your primary. Remember, I'm using this in lieu of this. My mini machete, as I like to call it. Power assist open. This is gravity fed. This is not a spring fed knife. It's the curved blade, and this is the dull side. I mean, you're going to do a lot of cutting and tearing with this blade. That's why I love the Kris blade. It's just, I can't even imagine. But that's why I carry this knife. And I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 8, or 8. You get the idea. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Please like, subscribe, and share. And if you want more knife reviews or other products, let me know. And let me know about things you want on my channel in general. So the Kris Voyager, guys, the XL, I can't recommend it enough. Again, like, subscribe, and share, and everybody stay safe. Take care.
Let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out.